You've just been hired at a company that is supposedly cool and modern, but on your first day, you already feel something is off. You have a great idea, but you're confused about who to report to. Your boss says A, but the manager from the next department says B. In the end, you just sit at your desk, dazed, waiting for instructions that never arrive. You feel like you're in the middle of chaos, wrapped in a neat office uniform. Stop thinking that an organizational structure is just a collection of boxes and lines posted on an office bulletin board or the About Us page of a company website. Systemically, an organizational structure is chaos control architecture. If humans are gathered in large numbers without communication channel rules, they will crash into each other like bumper cars at a fairground. Structure is the piping that ensures energy, information, and commands flow to the right place without leaking along the way. Welcome to Arc Chaos and Order, in the segment, The Corporate Order. In this 9th episode, we will dissect the 5 organizational structures most commonly used in the business world. We will see how each structure attempts to create order and what weaknesses might trigger new chaos. Prepare your business logic. Let's dismantle the anatomy of the machine. Functional structure, the specialist silo protocol. The first structure is the most classic and widely used. Functional. The logic is very similar to the division of subjects in school. All the people good at math are gathered in the finance department. Those talented at drawing are in the design team, and the smooth talkers are in sales. You are grouped based on expertise. Your POV now, you're a graphic designer. In this structure, you feel comfortable because all your teammates understand the language of design. Your superior is a creative director who knows exactly what your technical problems are. Order here is born from specialization. Work becomes highly efficient because everyone is doing what they deeply mastered. However, this structure has a bug called siloization. Because each department is too focused on its own world, they often forget they're in the same company. The marketing team promises strange features to customers, but the production team knows nothing about it. Communication chaos ensues between departments. The functional structure is the most powerful for increasing technical skills, but the most prone to making a company slow because each silo has its own ego. Divisional structure, the mini-kingdom protocol. If your company has grown too large and its products are varied, they usually move to a divisional structure. The logic is autonomy. This large company is split into several mini-kingdoms based on products, markets, or geographic regions. For example, the laundry soap division has different management than the ice cream division, even though the parent company is the same. Here, your POV shifts to Product A division employee. You have your own marketing team, your own finance team, and your own boss. You don't need to worry about what happens in Product B division. Order is born from focus. Each division has its own targets and can move fast like a small startup without having to wait for approval from a slow central bureaucracy. The problem? Resource waste. You have an IT team in A division and another IT team in B division. From an economic logic, this is unnecessary redundancy. Furthermore, divisions can compete unhealthily for budgets from headquarters. The divisional structure is powerful for winning specific markets, but it can create financial chaos if not strictly controlled by the hidden hand at the center. Matrix structure, the confusing two bosses protocol. Now this is the structure that is smartest in theory, but most often causes mental fatigue for employees. The matrix structure. The logic is cross-functional collaboration. Here, you don't just have one boss, but 2. You report to a functional manager, example, IT boss, and simultaneously to a project manager, example, Project App X boss. The logic of order here is flexibility. The company wants smart people from various departments to gather and work on one big project without having to change departments. This is the most sophisticated way to deal with the chaos of a constantly changing market. Information flows vertically to the department boss and horizontally to the project team. But the reality, your POV, you often get a headache because Boss A tells you to work on a report, while at the same time, Boss B tells you to attend a project meeting. A conflict of priorities occurs. The matrix structure often creates leadership chaos or power struggles between managers. This is a structure for people with high patience and great negotiation skills. Otherwise, this structure is just a perfect recipe for employee burnout within 3 months. Network structure, the corporate dropshipper protocol. The fourth structure is the most modern and increasingly popular thanks to the internet, the network structure. The logic is maximum outsourcing. Here, the central company, HQ, is very small. They don't have factories, they don't have their own logistics fleet, and sometimes they don't even have a customer service team. They only have the brain and the brand. Order in this structure is born from connectivity. You rely on a network of external vendors and partners to run business functions. Your company only focuses on core strategies while the nitty-gritty is handed over to third parties. This is very powerful against capital chaos. You don't need to spend trillions to build infrastructure. You just need to be good at making cooperation contracts. However, chaos arises in the issue of control. Because so much work is done by outsiders, you often lack 100% control over quality or company secrets. If your delivery vendor goes on strike, your business strikes too, even though it's not your fault. Your POV as a spectator, this structure makes you feel more like a giant project coordinator than a traditional office employee. It's a very efficient structure, but very fragile against external disruptions. Team-based structure, the special ops protocol. Finally, the most democratic structure. The logic is self-management. Instead of a rigid top-down hierarchy, this company consists of small teams that have the authority to decide for themselves how they work. It is also often referred to as agile or holacracy. The logic of order here is trust. Every team acts like a special ops unit. You don't need a director's signature to change a button's color on the website if the data shows it needs to be changed. Information moves very fast because there are no bureaucratic barriers. Your POV, you feel in full control of your work. You feel more valued as a human with a brain, not just as a bolt in a machine. But chaos arises in the matter of grand coordination. If every team moves on its own, the company's direction can become unclear. It takes a leader with a very strong vision to ensure all these teams keep running in the same direction. This structure is powerful against bureaucratic chaos, but requires a very high level of individual maturity. So, of these 5 structures, which one is the most powerful against chaos? Logically, it depends on what kind of chaos you're facing. If your chaos is about technical quality, use functional. If your chaos is about a broad market, use divisional. If your chaos is about project complexity, use matrix. If your chaos is about limited capital, use network. If your chaos is about innovation speed, use team-based. An organizational structure isn't about which one is cool or modern, but about which one is best suited for your business DNA. The mistake of many leaders is trying to copy the structures of other companies, like mimicking the style of Spotify or Google teams, even though the problems they face are totally different. That's like installing water pipes to flow electricity. It simply won't connect and will likely explode instead. Order in the office is created when everyone knows where they stand in the system, from whom they receive instructions, and to whom they must report. Once these lines blur, chaos will immediately enter through the cracks of ego and confusion. Thank you for watching until the end. If you like how we explain complex things to make them more make sense, don't forget to follow Synoptic. We will continue to discuss many everyday things that are actually fascinating, as long as they're explained the right way. Synoptic, the world simplified, one thought at a time.